I think a few of the most important things when being an activity leader is to remember that you have to be approachable. For the students, it's really important that they feel calm and that they can talk to you if they need to about any problems that they might have. And so in that sense, you are a leader for that time being, and so you have to have good leadership skills. So you have to be a great communicator because you're speaking and interacting with people whose first language might not be English. And also you have to be aware of things like timekeeping is of utmost importance, especially when you yourself, you have to be punctual, you have to be reliable, you've got to be there on time, every time, no exceptions. Also, I think a lot of the time things can change. Even something as menial as the weather can affect what you're going to be doing on that day. So you really have to think on your feet. You have to be ready to adapt at any point. Yeah, one of the best points about the job, I'd say, is the fact that you get to meet all kinds of interesting people from all over the world. You get to learn about different cultures. You even get to pick up little bits of their language. They have so much fun teaching them to you, and vice versa. Although your job is as an activity leader and the teachers do their teaching of English, you still interact with them using the English language, so of course you're another person who enforces that. So you get to have a lot of fun with the job. You get to visit really interesting places, and you have to tell them about these places. That is one of the challenges. You've got to know your stuff. You have to remember when these places were built, who by, what for, and when you're telling the students, you have to keep it really interesting. You have to have a very loud, clear voice so that they can hear you, because otherwise they may get distracted, and you have to keep it fun and entertaining for them. You're allowed to have a laugh with this job, but you do have to bear in mind that the groups can be very large, they might not be familiar with their environment, and therefore you really have to be aware at all times and make sure you are in control and that everybody understands that they're looking to you for their guidance. So one thing that did happen while I was on the job is it can get very busy in central London around the train stations. I was with a group and we were boarding a train, and as we were, one girl had a camera and she dropped it down into the tracks, and the doors closed. And of course she was really worried, she was upset, she just lost her camera. But my responsibility as an activity leader is to keep her calm, so she's not getting hysterical. I need to stay calm myself, of course, and I had to delegate. So I told the rest of the students to follow their group leader on to Charing Cross to go to the National Portrait Gallery, which was where they were headed. And at this point, I took the girl who had lost her camera and two of her friends, because you don't want to be alone with one student. If you can avoid it, you want to try and be protected. And so we went back to London Bridge. We found the relevant persons that I had to speak to, and they had already got her camera back, and they gave it to us, and she was over the moon. And so I guess what you have to sort of learn from these types of incidents is that whatever happens, you need to remain calm, and you need to reassure the students or the groups that that you're going to try to do what you can. So what you can take away from doing this sort of work is that it's a real opportunity to develop your personal skills of confidence, of communication, leadership skills. You really get to hone those, and just being in control of a group of people is absolutely invaluable as an experience for whatever job you might be pursuing. And so I really recommend doing this job. I mean, I've had so much fun. I've been working coming up to a year, and I always look forward to it. It was really just a great job.